Okay, I think we can get started, and then we can have more people join as we go. And like always, this town hall is being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube for everyone to watch later on. Hey, Edward, how are you doing today?
Hi, yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Are you on holiday right now? I think you're based where? In Europe, no? Like we have a holiday.
So, actually, yeah, I'm traveling this week. I'm in the UK, and outside, blue skies, sunshine, wonderful weather. So yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you for doing the town hall and for joining in your holiday.
Yeah. No worries. It's great to update everyone with how we're doing and what's new. So yeah.
Okay, amazing. So Neptunites, welcome to the town hall for the month of April. So I think we can get started with the vote escrow that was launched on Arbitrum. We discussed last town hall about it being launched on the testnet, but we have officially launched on mainnet. So can you tell us about that, Edward, please?
Yeah, so as you say, we launched the vote escrow NPM token on Arbitrum. So NPM token holders can lock their tokens for VE NPM. And as we mentioned last time, the reason for doing that is because it gives you potentially a massive 4 times boost to get your hands on our NPM emissions, which are now flowing to Coverpool LPs. So the Snapshot vote was held, the community voted, and as a result of that vote, the liquidity gauge is now directing NPM emissions, no less than 375,000 NPM tokens to the cover pools, and LPs of those cover pools can accrue NPM emissions. To do so, they'll need to lock their pods. So if you're an LP of a cover pool on the Arbitrum network, then go and check out the YouTube tutorials or the blog articles if you need any help to see how to lock your pods. Your pods are your proof of deposit tokens, so your proof that you are a cover pool LP. And if that is the case and you want free, so to speak, NPM tokens participate in the NPM emissions, then you need to lock your pods as soon as possible because NPM emissions accrue over the epoch, so over the duration of this first NPM emission gauge epoch, which is lasting, if I'm not mistaken, through until the end of the month, or close to the end of the month. So you'll need to lock your pods as soon as possible, because obviously if you lock your pod on the last day, then you'll only accrue 1 day's worth of NPM emissions, and that would be a shame to miss out, because there's quite a lot on offer, and even more for the next Snapshot vote and the next Epoch 2, which will be coming up next month. So yeah, all that's been launched, and yeah, I had the pleasure of communicating that and chatting with Churro from the Arbitrum community. When was that? Yesterday. Time flies. But that was that was cool. So the Arbitrum RB Naught, and got to hear about the NPM, the liquidity gauge, and how it all works, and the reason behind it, which is really to drive liquidity into the cover pools so that we have greater capacity and more people can purchase cover policies to protect themselves against the horrors of smart contract risks, which we all know about, not least of which because our epic security team have the database where, unfortunately, they're kept busy with all the regular smart contract hacks that happen every single week.
Okay, got it. Wait, yes, let's go in parts. So amazing. For the first part, we launched on mainnet. So 370,000 NPM tokens up for grabs. That is a lot.
375. There's 5 extra thousand
How dare I? I'm sorry.
Yeah, 375,000
extra.
NPM.
375,000 NPMs up for grabs for liquidity providers of Arbitrum. Amazing. That's a lot of money.
They deserve it.
Basically, let's go back. Like, the first thing here to talk about is, guys, the importance of locking absolutely now. Like, go right now during the town hall and lock your PODs, your proof of deposit tokens, so you can accrue the emissions that will be going on. I think it's until the 27th, I believe, end of day, that it will be going on. So that's guys, right now, we'll give you a few minutes. Go. Lock your PODs and get on that 375,000 NPM train. Amazing. Thanks, Edward.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
And sorry, I'm interrupting, but I just had a thought, and I don't hold on to my thoughts for that long. Sorry if I interrupted. But if you look at your pods and accrue NPM emissions, and you want to boost the amount of NPM emissions you get, as I said before, you can lock your NPM tokens for VE NPM tokens. Now, as we've said, in fact, there may even be a slide somewhere in here. Let me just jump forward. Maybe not. I thought there was. There isn't. But we have shown a slide which explains that the longer you lock up your NPM for, then the more NPM emissions you get the boost. But actually, really what I wanted to say was, please make sure that if you do that, that you use the same wallet address that you hold your proof of deposit token in for your looking up your NPM tokens, for the NPM tokens. That's important.
Okay, very important. And it's 4 times the boost. Am I correct? Up to 4 times.
It can be, yeah. If you max out on the duration of the lockup for the NPM into the NPM, then you get 4 times the amount of you accrue 4 times the amount of NPM emissions in comparison to just standard NPM token holders. And of course, you also have boosted power in the snapshot votes. So if you, for example, are invested in one particular cover pool or only one cover pool, then you can vote to influence the NPM emissions and direct them to the cover pool that you have a position in, so that you get more NPM emissions.
Okay. Actually, if you go to the next slide, we should have that in a graph so everyone can understand what we are talking about. Next one.
Yeah. So, next one. So we have, if you go to the application and look at the Vote Escrow tab at the top, excuse me, then you will see the whole process. I think it's fairly straightforward, but if you do need guidance, I definitely recommend our YouTube video tutorials. We have 2 out, and they're pretty detailed, and they take you through it step by step. So, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you've heard it here first, that we are coming up with some new YouTube content material, which is, I think, looking pretty interesting. This looks pretty good. Slightly shorter, so probably YouTube Shorts. That is coming soon, so look out for that, and we'll be publishing regularly. Some new style updates. The design team are working hard on that, and it should be out before long.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, the security team is always working hard on getting all the news out on what's happening. So we're planning on launching a new method of getting the news out there on the importance of all the hacks and smart contract things that are happening on a daily basis. So we'll be updating the community on that soon. So let's see. We already mentioned it, but the next point for today would be that we had the first snapshot voting for the NPM emissions and distribution. So I think we can discuss a little bit about how it went since it's now closed, the snapshot voting. And that's the slide that you have right there.
Yep. So yeah, we had quite a large number of NPM tokens that enable people to participate in the snapshot vote. And just a reminder, snapshot voting doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost anything either in terms of gas fees or in any other way. So it's free for NPM holders to participate in the snapshot vote. And so, yeah, for the first vote, quite happy with the fact that we had, the community get involved. Obviously, as we progress and word gets out that more and more NPM emissions are available and will be directed by the gauge controller, we expect more and more participation as cover pool LPs try and influence those NPM emissions to be directed towards their own cover pools or the cover pools that they, I've got liquidity in. So, yeah, we'll be continuing to talk about snapshot voting and liquidity gauge over the coming weeks and months as the NPM emissions cover pool LPs ramp up. And, as I said to on the Arbitrum chat yesterday, space yesterday, it is important that we reward and grow capacity in Neptune Mutual, because DeFi insurance is a underdeveloped space in terms of the TVL and in terms of the number of assets that are covered. And so we need to grow quickly. And in order to do that, we'll need more capital in the pools so that more cover policies can be sold. And it's desperately needed. There's $90 billion worth of assets in the DeFi space at the moment, around about. And less than $300 million of those are protected, so less than 0.3%. And that just is, in my personal view, unlikely to continue. So I think that as people and institutions in particular start getting more, either just experiencing more pain, so more people suffer consequences of smart contract hacks and want to do something about it for next time, or institutions who are obliged to, for compliance reasons, do something about it, I think we're likely to see the DeFi insurance space grow enormously in order to address that huge difference between the amount of digital assets that there are, the risk that they're exposed to, and the current very, very small percentage of digital assets which are protected in any shape or form.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the Arbitrum space, if you were not able to join, you can still go to the Arbitrum's X Twitter profile and hear the recordings. It was quite an interesting chat. I think everyone in the community is quite shocked when they hear these numbers. Even when we were talking to Chuo yesterday and you were dropping these numbers, he was quite shocked about how little of the assets in the industry are insured, or even the knowledge that it is around it. So it's very interesting topic, and I think we're all pretty bullish on the insurance sector, since we're not going anywhere in general in the industry, and the only way to move forward is to have this kind of protection or security measures in place.
Yeah, he is bullish about it. He is. We had an interesting chat, and he raised an interesting point, which was he did talk about because we were talking through that point specifically, and he was trying to, articulate why it is that there is such a big gap, and he did mention this fact that there's a sort of degen psychology, if you like, which is very attracted towards taking risks, which we all know about.
His words were
different projects.
That degens like risk and aping into tokens and not really thinking through the consequences, like kind of big risk, big rewards, and it's kind of the mentality of the industry.
Yeah, and I I don't know if I answered him particularly well, to be quite honest with you, but for me, there is a big difference between big risk and big reward, which is fine. I mean, it's all very well aping into a project and getting a 10x or more return, or not, because that is the risk, that you ape into a project and you don't get a 10x return, but you get a 0 return because, well, it just doesn't work out as you'd hoped. And that's the risk that he was talking about. So, high risk, high return, high risk, no return because it just doesn't work out. And that, I think, degens are fine with. And yeah, why not? I mean, that's the space we're in. But in terms of DeFi insurance, we're talking about different risks. So we're talking about, you yank into a project, let's say it does massively well, and you have your 10x return, and then it all goes to 0 because of some other risk, which is nothing to do with the financial risk of whether it works or whether it doesn't, which is like maybe you can call it like meme coin risk. So just to give you an example, everyone knows that there's thousands of meme coins out there, and 1 or 2 or 3 might make it big time, and the others won't. But what we're talking about isn't that. It's different. It's like, a project that you're involved with and a smart contract risk. It's completely different. And no one wants to suffer the pain of having done really, really well and just losing it all for, smart contract risk. It's different. So what I'm trying to say is, I guess, one doesn't exclude the other. Just because you're a high risk taker in terms of your investing strategy doesn't mean to say that you should put up with smart contract risk and lose all your assets because of some technicality that, the audit team or others have missed in the smart contract code. I mean, that's just, it's really gutting if that happens to anybody, and it can be mitigated. So yeah, we chatted briefly about that, but it is, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And I do think that we can help people or help projects in particular, help their communities avoid that problem.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, speaking of growing and being bullish on DeFi insurance and all this, I think it's the perfect moment to talk about our milestone, over 20,000 transactions in the Neptune Mutual marketplace, which is amazing. Just shows how much we're growing. So congratulations to the whole team and to the Neptunites that made it happen. It's quite an amazing accomplishment. I think we're over 26,000 by now. You can check it on the Expo.
Yeah, it is.
I'll drop the link here in the chat.
Yeah, so this went out in the monthly report, 20,000. As you brightly say, we're over 26,000 transactions at the moment. So activity's growing as, users interact with the marketplace and provide liquidity and participate in the gauge and the NPM emissions, which is great. So you can see activity. And whilst we're talking about the Explorer, we actually did a small update yesterday, which when I looked at this morning, which is really helpful, which allows you to select from a list the events that you want to track. I know I'm going maybe not exactly neutral on stuff that we do, but I have to say that our Explorer, I think, is pretty amazing. I mean, I know that you can look. I know that you can look up transactions on the different L2 Explorers. So everything is transparent. But just because something is transparent on, like, whatever it is, Polyscan or Etherscan or Arbitrum, doesn't necessarily make it easy to do if you're looking for something specific for a particular protocol. Just because you can do it doesn't make it easy. But if you look at our Explorer, you can look through easily all the different activity on the Neptune Mutual application in a way that I haven't seen on any other project. So I'm putting that out there, and if anyone has seen a better project Explorer then let me know, because I'd love to see it. Because if there's anyone who's doing anything which is anywhere near as good as what we've got, then we're always open to improvement and modifying it. But I think the tech team have done, and the design team too, obviously, have done a great job with the Explorer, and it's getting better and better. And it is helpful for people,
Point, which is like, it's really like, if you have seen a better one, please send it over. We're encouraging people to actually send us something that is better so we can make ours better. But it's so true that it's so friendly and so user friendly, like so easy to use and design and everything. It's like, it is difficult to find, right? In Web3, sometimes I think that's a big problem that we have for mass adoption, is not everything is necessarily friendly or easy to navigate or use. So for someone just coming into the industry, it's not exactly straightforward. But we are trying to make everything as friendly as we can to make sure that who's like, whether you're like a veteran degen and this is your third bull or fourth bull, or you just join the industry, you make sure that you are doing it the right way and mitigating your risks. So the Explorer is super friendly. I think I can, give it to my mother, and she will know how to navigate it, right? That's how friendly it is.
Yeah. And whilst we're on that topic, we are here to provide community with what they want, the Neptunite community. So please, if there are projects that you would like to see in the Neptune Mutual marketplace, if there are specific types of risk that we're not covering that you think we should for a particular reason, do reach out to us and let us know. We are, very much kind of, perhaps the term is overused in Web3, but like community-centric. But what that means is, tell us what you want, because we do have a really, really good tech team, and we can, respond to that. So let us know what you need. And if it's a project where you think a project would benefit from having a cover pool, then don't hesitate also to reach out to that particular project and say, hey, speak to Neptune Mutual. Because as a reminder to everyone, obviously we're a marketplace, so the pools are created by projects to serve their own communities. So either reach out to us, put us in touch with the project, or reach out to the project and ask them to reach out to us. And we can hopefully get them to spin up a pool. And that's how we'd like to work. So creating pools driven by the demands of users.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's happened in the past. We've had a few Neptunites message us saying, hey, I want to see this pool happen, and we've contacted the projects. So please keep doing that, and just let us know how you want to be better served by the team. And speaking of making everything user-friendly and serving the community, it's our next point in the agenda for today, which is our new YouTube tutorials that have come up. We have 2 different ones and a third one happening regarding the board escrow tokens. So, Edward, can you expand on that?
Yeah, so they take you through step by step the process, both the snapshot voting and for boosting your NPM emissions. And so definitely well worth taking a look at. It takes you through all the stages. It will help you understand the liquidity gauge, how it's working. It will help you figure out what's best for you in terms of your lockup strategy for your NPM, turning it into VNPM, and then obviously the pod locking, as we mentioned before. So it takes you through all those things, explains it all in detail. So don't hesitate to look at those, comment on them, and obviously the Discord moderators here at Neptune Mutual or Telegram are very willing to respond to any specific questions you might have.
Amazing. And we have like we said, we have some new content coming up on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that was our last point for today. So I think we can open the floor to whoever wants to ask a question and see if we have any questions from the community. Let's give it a few minutes.
Okay.
All right. I don't think we have any questions for today. We've been talking for 25 minutes, so I think we covered it all. Edward, thank you so much for joining today. And remember, guys, you can drop your questions in on our Discord, and we'll make sure we address them either by message or we'll add it to the next month's town hall agenda. So we really appreciate everyone joining today and listening to us talk, and we're excited for what's to come.
Yeah, great. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.